It's the season of the witch, and we're brewing all sorts of recipes in our Caraway cookware this fall. Caraway's internet famous kitchenware is a staple for any home and comes in various modern shades to fit with your any design aesthetics. Caraway Home's non-toxic kitchenware features a chemical-free ceramic coating, so food can be prepared with peace of mind that no hard-to-pronounce chemicals will leak into your healthy ingredients. Caraway products are made without any toxic materials like PFAs, PTFEs, PFOA, or other hard-to-pronounce chemicals. Ceramic's naturally slick surface means minimal oil or butter for easy cleaning. This fall season, I am super excited to make cozy soups in my Caraway pot. Visit carawayhome.com/TLC to take advantage of this limited time offer for 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive for our listeners, so visit carawayhome.com/TLC or use our code TLC at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern.
Hey crew, I'm currently in a growth and change phase of my business, and I'm trying to find ways where I can save time and prevent headaches from happening. Whether you're shipping from your house or a warehouse, ShipStation can increase your profitability, save you time by automating your shipping and returns in the ShipStation dashboard, and keep costs down with industry-leading carrier discounts while your holiday orders roll in. But I recently discovered ShipStation, and basically it helps prepare your e-commerce business for the holiday rush. So now is definitely the time for you to try ShipStation. ShipStation shows you shipping rates so that you can compare them to what you paid before you used it. So whether you're a small business owner or a seasoned vet, ShipStation is for you. Easily automate shipping tasks and manage orders in one simple dashboard. You can quickly and easily update crucial and order information and reduce errors. There's effortless integration everywhere you sell online, including Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, and more. And you can manage orders, print labels, compare rates, optimize every shipment, and automate delivery notifications. Set your business up for holiday season success with ShipStation. Go to ShipStation.com and use code THINK today and sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com, code THINK.
Welcome to the Think Loud Crew podcast. Today we are two moms getting real with parenthood, relationships, and the WTF moments of our daily lives. My name is R.
And I'm Shanan.
And today we're going to talk about reading.
Oh, reading? I'm like, I wasn't quite sure, you guys. Sorry, we have a Q&A up, but I was telling Kyle about my whole little family journey at home right now. So I think she said, I can't speak right now. She thought it would be a really great topic to bring up, especially I brought it up because Parker went back to school maybe 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in second grade. And, it's a little more mature in his class. So this type of school Parker goes to is a progressive learning school, which means they don't learn exactly like how every other, by the book.
I feel like the structure
is a little bit different, and it's how your kid learns. They see how they learn, and they kind of just progress and see what works for them. So Parker got back to school, and for him to voice to me the first couple of days, I was like, hey, how you doing? How you feeling? How is it? And one of his concerns that I saw was he was a little concerned. He's like, I feel a little behind in my reading. And for me, that's a huge deal because when I was his age, I was, would you say diagnosed? or would you say
it's like a
diagnosis with dyslexia. So I really resonated with that, with how he's feeling, his unsureness and all that. And I never want my kid to feel like he's not with his rest of his classmates and feeling that confidence. So I talked to one of his best friends. His dad is a school teacher at a high school, and he actually helps kids with their learning, with their reading, actually. And, has a whole system that he does that's non-invasive, non-feeling like they're attacking you. Because I feel like back when I was going through the whole process of, like, trying to read and learn and all these things, I felt like it was, like, so much on me as a kid and so much pressure. And it just was a lot for me.
I feel like they used to there was a lot more stigma on learning disorders. And I don't even like saying learning disorders. It's like just people learn differently. People are like, there's a whole neurodiverse community, neurodivergent learners. There's people with like sensory things. Yeah. So there's so many different styles.
I think you hit it on the nail
once. And before it was very like,
yes,
it was like, ooh, like,
oh my God, you have this and you need to go take care of it.
Oh my God, what's wrong with your brain?
Yeah, because exactly, like, I went to a very prestigious school. Like, I went to a very nice private school, but with their learning, it was just very hard on. Like, if you didn't get it, you're gonna just be left in the wind. Like, just
it's fast,
very fast. So I'm a very visual, hands-on reader. So my approach was like, hey, Park, like, what can I do to help you? How can I help you in this? Like, what can mommy do? Because I'm like, I'm not gonna let you feel like or slide through anything. So I asked him, like, what can I do? Can we read more? Because one of his homework this year is just reading 30 minutes a day at home.
Girl,
So I'm like, I got you, Park. Like, I will do whatever it takes for you to feel that confidence in class. And he's already a great reader. I just feel like he wants to read these chapter books, which we already do, but we read them together and we all these different things. But so fast forward to what I was saying, I approached his best friend's parents and they're like, oh my God, I would love to help out. This program is amazing. It's super easy and I can help you show him how to do it.
Love it.
And I think the coolest approach was like, he was, just explaining me all these different concepts of like what I can do at home. So he feels he's surrounded by reading.
Where it's like a natural thing, not so much. Okay, this makes me happy.
It was like, it made me so happy. When I was sitting there listening to her husband,
Can you give an example?
So some examples he was telling me. So one was, he was like, approach it as we are a family of readers.
Okay.
He was like, so everybody in your household, which is me, my mom, and my dad, we're a family of readers. And part of that is, are you exempling of you being a reader?
Yes, I was going to say that's such a good
And so,
point.
One of the things is like, in being a family of readers, it's maybe you, even if you're on your phone, like, hey, bud, I'm reading an email. You can show them, like, I'm reading, I'm doing work, and then I'll be right with you. Just to show that you're reading. Or just, like, things of, like, hey, right now we're going to take a 30-minute break. All of us are going to read our separate books. You read yours. Even if you can't read it, look at the book. Do something. You're going to read.
See what words you do know.
What words you do know. You read. And then we're going to come back and let's talk about what we saw or we read today.
I like that.
And so that can be part of like your routine of like, hey, and it can be fun. It doesn't have to be serious. It doesn't have to be like,
we're going to read these words
right now. And we're going to be so miserable. Like, it doesn't have to be a serious.
Does Parker like comic books?
He loves comic books. So his favorite books for us to read together are Dog Man and Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Okay.
So the Diary of a Wimpy Kid became this year of like going back to school, and I'm like, oh, you got that from the library. How cool. Let's read it together. You read a page, back and forth. Like, you tell me what words you know, and he's gaining that.
I like that. And that feels good. Since I've been back in school and Boz sees me like reading more. When we go to Target, he's like, hey, can I get that Lego? But then he's like, oh, let's go get a new book.
Yeah.
And just how, like you said, like making sure that you share with him, like whether it's, hey, I'm reading this email, or hey, let's read this recipe as we cook.
Yes.
Hey, like, what do you think this word, like looking at a menu, guess what it is. What do you recognize here? Like, now Boz is 4. Like, the boy wants to read, and I'm like,
that's amazing.
It's changed our bedtime story time. Yeah. So whereas before it was just me reading, now every other second it's like, oh, Mom, there's this word. Oh, Mom, there's this word.
I love that.
And at first I used to be like, bro, let me just read the book. Like, I'm tired. It's time to go to sleep. But now I'm like, I had to learn, maybe we don't read 3 books. We just take 1 book and we chop the shit out of that book that night. Yeah. And I'm so happy with that. Boz wants comic books so bad, but some of the comics that I bought were so long, and I'm like, buddy, we gotta chop this book. Let's do this chapter tonight, and we'll do that chapter tomorrow. And he'll be like, no, I want to keep going. Like, so it's I'm excited because he's not where Parker is, where he's like questioning or just being like, I don't know what's, it's
he's
a different,
still navigating
it's
it,
still
feeling
new.
It out.
But I love seeing his excitement for, he wants to figure it out. And the other day last night we were doing his homework, and there were new words in his like mix of like, they do like letter sounds. So it's like the uppercase letter, you say the letter name. When it's a lowercase, you do the sound. And then they have different sight words mixed in. And then there's different like, the letters that they're focusing on the week, they have them blended, and then they'll have like another random letter. Yeah. So they know like I and am, but yesterday they have like, see, they have all these, they're like building off their sentences. So Boz was like, oh, I see Sam. I like Sam. What does it mean to like someone, Mom? Like, why do we like Sam?
Why do we like him?
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, Tam sees the mat, So we're going through it. And I was, just watching him actually sound the words out. I was like, oh, this is so cool. So lately, like, I'm trying to figure out fully, like, what is your after-school program? I want to keep you busy. I also want to be supportive of, like, your learning journey. Yeah. So my question lately has been, like, when is it too early to introduce, like, an outside program or, like, a tutor or some kind of, like, I know I was looking at Kumon, where they have like math and reading services, where it's like, I think for his age group, it's only like 30 minutes. It'd be like maybe like once or twice a week. And I'm like, I think that would be fun, because I know sometimes when Boz and I are learning or doing homework or reading something sometimes together, like there's times where we're moving and grooving and it's great. And then there's times where it's like, I'm your mom. I don't need to act like I'm your teacher right now in this sense. Like, we don't necessarily need to do homework together. And I see that in him.
Sometimes
already.
It's harder. Yeah, sometimes it's harder. Sometimes it's harder for the parent, because I know with me and Parker, sometimes I'm not the best teacher. For him. And
I'm also like, I'm learning where I'm like, I'm not a teacher in this sense.
No, we're your parent.
So I'm like.
So sometimes, I get it. Sometimes you butt heads. But yeah, it's an interesting journey. It's a fun journey of reading. And I like other little tidbits that he taught me was like, always have, like even when they're watching TV, having the subtitles on, even if it's muted, having subtitles on all the time. And then a thing that he made for Parker was really cool. Is like, you could say for your sight words for you and Boz, is like having your sight words in like flashcards, but then having fun little sentences that you and Boz make up on the back of it, and they can be as silly as can be. Like Parker and his friend Luca were making up sentences in the back for them to remember the word, and they were like, some of them were songs, and some of them were just like, I farted, or like,
I'm so happy you just brought this up, because I have another question after this. Okay.
Because then your kid made up those sentences. It's not just no generic little sentence, but it's something that they will laugh like, oh my God, I remember making that. That was so funny. I know that word.
Got it.
I know that sentence, and I'm reading new words.
Love it.
Going at it. So I'm really excited for Parker's new reading journey. It's really cool.
I like
It's really, really cool because as a parent, when my kid is going through something or something is going on, I'm that parent that's like, what can we do to fix it? What can we do to figure out your whatever you're going through? So I got on it right away. I even like you were saying, programs and stuff. Like I was up late at night, like, oh my God, my kid. And I bought Hooked on Phonics, but like,
oh, please tell my mom that, because my mom has bought Hooked on Phonics like 10 gazillion times for Writer, and she is like, somebody please use this, but I don't feel like it's the same. I
don't think it's the same. And then
a lot of it's like digital now.
It's very digital, and I don't mind, like, yeah, he can do it on my phone whenever he wants randomly, but I think the way that his dad's friend has set it up for me and like shown me and helped me with like his reading, I think that approach is better for Parker.
Got it.
But like I feel like every kid, like you said, like every kid is so different. Everyone is such a different learner, and it's so cool to figure it out now as a parent, as you probably see, like even with your two boys, different. I'm sure Zaire's going to be so different than how Boz is learning.
It's also different. So for me, I grew up like, I went to public school up until like 3rd grade. 4th grade, I switched over. But learning and going through like public school system versus private schools or independent schools, it's been a different course. So when we had like back to school night, they did an assembly and they introduced like all the staff members, but they also shared all of like the extra learning resources at the school. Yeah. So it's like, if your kid's got this, come meet us here. If your kid has that, come meet us here. If you want to get tested for this, if you think that, if you want this. So I was just totally amazed because I was like, oh.
For Boz's back to school night?
Yeah, I was like, yo, there are so many resources here. If people have questions, like, they can go get that information.
I feel like
it's more of an open conversation. There was no like stigma about it, or like
oh, people you have dyslexia, oh, that's how you're learning.
Whereas I feel like when I went to Westridge, if you had a learning disability, or if you were, if your grades weren't the same as everyone else, it was like, are you even supposed to be here? It's like that feeling of those expectations and the pressures and the stress is sometimes so unnecessary and unfair on kids.
So unfair.
But it was also like, I don't remember them openly being like, hey, if you have these kind of issues, or if you think you have issues, come talk to us. I only knew about it because I had friends who had like ADHD or had like different learning disabilities, and Cheyenne had learning disabilities growing up. And it's like, if you submit your paperwork, you get extra time for test taking. You can be in a room by yourself for test taking. So it was like, I had friends whose parents they knew the system, so they knew how to be like, hey, this is what's going on. Like, we want our extra 45 minutes, or we want to go take it in that other room. So I just feel like now, for me, as I'm seeing that or entering the conversation as a parent, I'm like, oh, there is help. Like,
it's help, and then I feel like it's so much more calm, because when I approached his teacher at back to school night, she was like, girl, Parker is fine. And I'm like, I know he's fine, but these are my concerns. She's like, yes, I get it. She's like, because kids will be kids.
Yeah, kids feed off of each other. Yes. There may be the one kid who reads a little bit more, and it's a sliding scale. I'm seeing that with Boz too sometimes, where like, he has a friend, and Boz went to school in D.C., and a lot of these kids, this is their first time in school. And these are like that COVID kids.
At his new school?
At his new school.
Oh, okay.
So there's a few parents in there, and they're like, hey, Boz looks to be doing, like, the boy can count. He knows his stuff. He knows his sounds. Like, he's doing well there. And they're like, what have you been doing? And I'm like, I work with my kid at home, and he also had some school like experience. So it's just seeing that there's such a huge scale of all the kids within the same class. It is, can we just take a moment and pray for our teachers? And thank you to our teachers, because me doing homework with 2 kids around is one thing. My 2 kids being Ryder and Boz, you know, but a whole classroom of kids in different positions and learning styles. I thank you guys.
Yes, thank you, teachers.
Thank you. And I'm thankful. Like, there's parents like us who really do try and are like being active with our kids and trying to figure it out, because
I think it's important. I think it's healthy.
You got to stay in that cut.
You have to, and just making sure. I think my biggest thing was I want Parker to have that reading confidence, because I love coming back to like a family of readers, you know, like
I'm about to say that to Boz.
I think it's one of those things like, hey, do you come from a family of readers? Like, you know, just like, and he can be confident, like, yeah, and it's just like,
yeah, if my kid is going to tease you, it's going to be like, not like, yo, what's going on? Right. But it's like, you better be from the family of readers. Like,
and
sorry,
I think
kid.
that's a
Mom
big
wants
thing
you to
for
be a nerd.
me, too, because I'm not a big reader. I really try my best to sit down and, like, read a book. But I think if I model me sitting down and reading, you know,
it'd be different.
Monkey see, monkey do. Like, if my kid sees me sitting down and reading, like, hey, I'm going to pick up a book, too. You have, like... the example they were giving me is like every morning. We have to show our kids
how you can make mistakes too. Like, it's okay if you don't know every single word. The other day, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
There was a big word, and I was reading to Boz, and it was like I was reading school stuff. Boz would be like, Mom, I don't want to hear this. And I'm like, one more paragraph. So it was like, you know, one of those like 14-letter words. And it was a word that I know, but when I was reading it, it just wasn't coming out. Is this how you really spell this word? This is insane. But I just couldn't say it correctly. And I had to go on YouTube
for them to say it.
And I had them pronounce it. And then I was like, see, Boz, even Mommy doesn't know all the words, and it's okay. I still tried. I looked it up. Right. And then I was like, okay, now we're going to figure out the pronunciation.
We need to know Google.
Yes. And it was like, he was like, Mom, you're just supposed to know this already. And I was like,
I think that's awesome because
practice.
you're modeling. Yeah. I think modeling for your kids, no matter what it is, whatever your routine might be, they might see, you know, kids watch you no matter what you think they're doing. So they watch us as parents, and like no matter what your routine is in the morning, what you know, whatever it might be. So like I know for myself, one of my biggest things, me modeling that I'm reading or just picking up my journal and writing, because you can't fuss at your kid every day and say do this, do that, do that, and you're not doing
and you don't do
and
whatever.
You're not doing anything. You're just sitting there maybe on your phone, and I'm guilty of that as well. Because Parker for sure called me out the other day. I was like, Mom, but you're just on your phone like this, and this. And I'm like, oh, shit. You see me just on my phone. Like, I need to model something different, you know?
I have set hours when the kids are home when I am not on my phone. And I like to pick one day of the weekend where I'm not on my phone.
And that's...
And then people think I'm dead, and they're like sending out SOS messages.
A really good job at that.
Y'all should know.
You do a beautiful job at that. And I think these last couple months, I've been doing my best to, like, cut down on, like, okay, I'm about to pick up Parker. Let me put my phone down. There's no one that's texting me.
What do I need to do?
My man will wait. Like, he's fine. He has kids. He gets it. Because, like, your kids see what you're doing. So, you know, you can fuss at your kids, like, do your homework, do that, do this. Maybe while they're doing their homework, maybe you sit down and read. Maybe, you know, whatever the case may be, like, model that you can do the same thing as them. Maybe when they're doing your homework, maybe you're working on your computer or you're writing down in your journal. So, I just think that's so cool. It really made me so happy.
I like this.
It made me so happy because even asking Parker, like, hey, Parker, do you come for family reviews? Like, well, you know, I don't see Papa reading that much or Nana. But then I'm like, well, you see Nana working all the time. She's on the computer working. So, yes, she is a family of reader. You know, Papa's always, you know. So just reminding your kid what, you know, you are come from family readers. We read our menu. We're reading this. We do that.
I think showing how useful it is.
To be, yes, because reading is so fundamental for your kid to read a menu, for your kid to do this, do that. And I love that I got this new tool and this new verbiage and a new approach for Parker and myself, because that's something that I've really wanted to model, as being a reader to Parker, even though as an adult I haven't been the best reader. Oh, not as in me not being able to read, but best reader as picking up a book and just sitting down and reading.
I love it. Yeah.
It's the season of the witch, and we're brewing all sorts of recipes in our Caraway cookware this fall. Caraway's internet famous kitchenware is a staple for any home and comes in various modern shades to fit with your any design aesthetics. Caraway Home's non-toxic kitchenware features a chemical-free ceramic coating, so food can be prepared with peace of mind that no hard-to-pronounce chemicals will leak into your healthy ingredients. Caraway products are made without any toxic materials like PFAs, PTFEs, PFOA, or other hard-to-pronounce chemicals. Ceramic's naturally slick surface means minimal oil or butter for easy cleaning. This fall season, I am super excited to make cozy soups in my Caraway pot. Visit carawayhome.com/TLC to take advantage of this limited time offer for 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive for our listeners, so visit carawayhome.com/TLC or use our code TLC at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern.
Hey crew, I'm currently in a growth and change phase of my business, and I'm trying to find ways where I can save time and prevent headaches from happening. Whether you're shipping from your house or a warehouse, ShipStation can increase your profitability, save you time by automating your shipping and returns in the ShipStation dashboard, and keep costs down with industry-leading carrier discounts while your holiday orders roll in. But I recently discovered ShipStation, and basically it helps prepare your e-commerce business for the holiday rush. So now is definitely the time for you to try ShipStation. ShipStation shows you shipping rates so that you can compare them to what you paid before you used it. So whether you're a small business owner or a seasoned vet, ShipStation is for you. Easily automate shipping tasks and manage orders in one simple dashboard. You can quickly and easily update crucial order information and reduce errors. There's effortless integration everywhere you sell online, including Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, and more. And you can manage orders, print labels, compare rates, optimize every shipment, and automate delivery notifications. Set your business up for holiday season success with ShipStation. Go to ShipStation.com and use code THINK today and sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com, code THINK.
You know, I recently saw a podcast where this man was talking about the currency of his household, how he runs his house. And I was like, ooh, this is very interesting. What is it? And the currency, he uses books as a form of currency in his home.
Okay.
So he gave an example where he's like, there's books in every room of my home, basically. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God, I love this. This is how I see my home. Like, I don't care if you're in the bathroom, in the kitchen, in my bedroom, the boys' bedroom, living room, kitchen, there's going to be some form of a bookshelf, a book somewhere. Like, I am obsessed with books. I collect books. And then he started progressing into the conversation where he was like, okay, here's an example. My kids really wanted some Legos. Okay, you can buy the Legos. How much are the Legos? The Legos are $20. Cool. You need 20 books. I'm going to put these Legos up here on a high shelf, and we'll put here's a little calendar, here's a marker, or here's where you put your books out after you read them. Mm-hmm. I need 20 books, and then you can open up your Legos. And I was like, oh my God.
That's cool.
This is going to be my house currency. Like, hey, Mom, can I do this? Well, how many books have you read today? Or how many books have you read this week? Or what's your book count at? Or what's your chapter? You know, Boz is only 4, so I'm not trying to kill the kid. You know, but it'd be like, hey, let's get through these 5 books so that we could get here. Like, you know, baby steps. Even with like learning or teaching someone as young as Zaire, there's all these new learning techniques and like ways to teach your kids. So I've always been taught like you teach your kids their letter names first and then like they learn the sounds. There's this one dad I follow online and I really love what he does. And he's like, forget the letter names. They're going to know the letter names.
Yeah.
Teach them the sounds first there. Teach them the sounds first. So when they start seeing them, they're automatically like starting to be trained to like sound the words out because they know all the letter sounds rather than just, oh, I see an E and L and a K next to each other, but I know it's L, K.
Yeah.
Oh, I put a word together. Like just start like brain training early on. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much to raising children.
There is so much. And figuring out how
it's exciting. And also learning how your kid learns. Like that is, I think, the biggest thing is kids learn different from other kids. You can have siblings and they learn different from each other. Like it's normal, it's healthy, and it's like that's how you figure out like where your other strengths are. Earlier you were saying sometimes, someone may be like, oh, here's your learning disability, but it's like, no, I'm actually very strong within my creative realm, or like visually I may be able to put something together that you just can't. You're like, how did you do that? So it's celebrating also the different strengths that we do have, not just your brain process is different than mine. Yeah.
Everyone, and I think that's the beauty of like who we are as people, because everyone is so different. Everyone has like, it just putting that pressure on a human is just,
and kids at that, their brains aren't even developed.
No, and I think that's what like teachers and people like people keep telling me like he is gonna get it. Like one day he's 7. He's 7 and he's just gonna like everyone's like, your son is fine. I'm like, I know he's fine, but but I don't ever want to put that, to the pressure.
Do you think, I was about to call Parker Charker. I don't know why.
Love Charker.
Do you think, a little Charker over here, do you think Parker maybe wants more of a challenge, or?
I don't know. I think he does. He's funny because he hates, like the teachers will give him all these like, here's Sam, and he hates the phonics
He's like,
books.
I'm past that.
He hates them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, Papa, because he got a whole booklet of them for the summer. I'm like, Papa, let's do our summer reading. And he was like, ah!
I'm over Sam.
Right.
Sam fell down the hill.
But like he loves, like I said, he loves like Dog Man chapter books.
I gotta look up Dog Man.
They're Dog Man, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and like the Captain Underpants.
Yes.
He loves those books, and they are a little bit of harder read, but he's a type of person.
He wants that challenge.
He wants a challenge, and he will pick the book up and start reading and be like, Mom, and then. Then I'll help him. But those are the type of books he wants because those are the books he sees his friends read. And so it's kind of like the peer pressure. I don't think that peer pressure.
That's
or
good
just like,
peer pressure. I'll take that peer pressure.
So he
expects more from himself.
Yes. So he picks up those books. He gets those books. And I'm proud of him. Like, hey, Pop, can we read that book? He's like, no, not really, but I want to read it. So I'll read it to him so then he can go back and be like, hey, I know what happened in this book.
Yeah.
But we read it together. Those are books like we read, like I'll read a page or we'll read it together and he'll just read behind me. And I know that's another type of form of reading.
Oh, yeah. That's been Boz
lately. Or like what I learned with his friend in the program is you'll let your kid read whatever it is in front of them, and then you give them I think it's 30 seconds from what they try to sound out, and then if they don't hit it within those seconds, you give it the word to them. So it's like you're not letting them. It's a rhythm of reading.
I was gonna say there's a flow to it.
It's a flow
I like that. I like that.
So you let them read.
I like that, a rhythm of reading.
A rhythm like you let them read, and they stop on a word, and if they don't say it, I think it's maybe 3 seconds. It's 3 seconds. So if they don't do it in 3 seconds, give them the word so they keep going.
Got it.
So it's not like you're stalling.
I like that.
You're it's a flow.
I like that.
So I thought that was another cool little tip, because I'm like, because you want, and your kid can do it. So as a parent, you're like, Papa, I know you got that word.
I've seen you do this before.
Right. So, but you have to kind of take your parent out and be like, here's a word. Keep going. Here's a word. That. Keep going. Here's a word. Keep going. So it's like a flow. It's a flow of reading.
So today we did put up a Q&A, and one of the questions was, how's your fall going? First of all, I didn't know it was fall yet. And second of all, it's been going well so far, because I feel like I'm getting back into the swing of things of school routine, which is I look forward to, because I'm like, okay, here are my set hours, so then I can schedule things to get organized, to even build out my reading plan for my kid.
Yeah.
September, I had a few hiccups. I had some hard things I was going through,
oh, it's
and it's the end of September.
Sorry.
I was super stressed out about my living situation, and that is now broken through. The pimple has been popped, and Yay! I am good. I am moving, but part of one of the things that I really want to emphasize as I'm doing my house layout is, when I do want books in all the rooms in some form or capacity. I have a really nice hallway, and I plan on doing I'm gonna show you this picture, because
I'm excited.
Yeah, I am honestly thinking about taking a wood shop class
and then
doing these different build outs, because it's even with the boys, so it's a 3-bedroom house, and one of the room I'm gonna use as the office, there's a huge closet. So I was thinking of converting the closet in their bedroom as a reading nook area.
That'd be cute.
So it's here's your area to read, or here's your peace corner, here's your time to here's your space to just decompress.
Yeah.
So I love that you brought reading up today, and it's just something that I feel keeps coming up in
in your world,
in my world. That's right now.
Good. I love that.
Even as I'm looking at ways to decorate my kids' rooms, I'm okay, cool. We need these magnet walls, because you're gonna be forming letters, or I want books here. I even in some of the main rooms, doing printed signs. For me, I'm stuck on having a multilingual household. So for me, it's even with the kids, I don't need you to be able to fully understand Spanish or Italian right now, but I want you to be able to identify,
see the word,
see certain words. So when I say bathroom or kitchen, or eat, it's you can start to identify, so that when we start traveling, there's not going to be oh, where's the bathroom? It's going to be oh, hey, I know that word. That is the bathroom.
That's where it is, yeah.
That's where I need to go. So, because I plan on traveling excessively with my children at some point in our lives. I want them to feel just how you're saying, how do I build Parker's confidence within reading? It's how do I build your confidence, not just with reading, but just being comfortable with words and translating, deciphering, my brain is all over the place.
Good.
Deciphering different words, or seeing similarities in different words. So it's
I like that.
It's
I think that's cool.
It's fun, and it's exciting.
Congrats, you guys! Just here, she got a new place.
Yes, I got a new place.
I'm excited for her.
I got a new place.
Can't wait for paint parties.
Man, paint parties, and y'all can watch me become a wood crafting mom. Not that I'm trying to add anything else to my plate, because I just got no time. I'm still trying to figure out how to connect my head on my head every day, and it's there.
That part.
Yeah, it was a little much. But do you want to jump into some of these Q&A questions? I feel like they were fun questions that were
there is fun questions.
I
like them.
Super crazy in depth, where we could almost do a little quick round. Maybe
we can do a quick. Ready, fight. I'm just kidding.
Not ready, fight. Okay, boss. That's boss's thing. Oh wait, I wanted to ask you a question first. because you said something about farts earlier. Did Parker go through a phase where everything was butt, fart, and poop for like a minute? So this is like a boy thing?
I feel like it is a boy thing, and I think they think it's funny.
They think it's hilarious.
It's really... I think Parker still thinks it's funny.
Okay, because the other, like, lately, like, when I've been getting Boss from school, he's super excited. There's a walking park right there. And he's always like, come on, butt face. Come on, you farty poopy head. Like, let's go play. And the boys,
I don't think
like...
Parker ever called me a fart face.
No. He doesn't say it to me. He says it to the other kids. And then their parents look at me like... And I want to say, are your boys not boys? Like, what's going on? Don't look at me, because my kid is a
real boy.
Is vocal over here.
That's funny.
It's even to the point where now Nana is trying to teach him. Well, she's taught him gluteus maximus. And my mom the other day was like, really? You want your 4-year-old to be running around talking about, where's that gluteus maximus? And I was like, that sounds a lot better than give me that booty. Like, Boss is out there. I'm like,
saying, give me that booty.
And then I'll be like, oh, where do you hear this? And that's the other thing. He's hearing a lot of things being said at school. So,
give me that
no, he comes home with stories where he's like, Mom, so-and-so said a bad word today. Y'all, these little shut up and stupids have progressed to... Come here, bitch.
No.
And I said, who said that, Boss? And he said, they didn't say it to me, Mom, but I heard it. And he was like trying to say it without saying it. And he was like, Mom,
come here,
I heard
bitch.
somebody say a really bad sentence on the playground. I said, okay, what was it today? And he said, come here. And I was like, well, what are you about to say? And he said, bitch, I'm sorry. I didn't know. He like thought I was going to be mad at him for saying it. He was like,
You're
I'm
probably
so sorry,
in your
Mom.
head cracking the
And I was like,
why are kids
I was like, was this kid in your grade? Like, is this an older kid? Like, what's going on?
An older kid?
It was an older kid, but he's heard the kids say, come here, bitch. He's heard of what the F, like, and I'm like, okay, Boss, these are not... I'm sitting there, like, trying not to laugh, because I'm like, holy shit, where do I have my kid at school? But I'm also like, kids are kids, and then it's like, he's like, but Mom, I know these are not appropriate words.
Right.
Like, lately, we've been really big
I'm
on,
happy
like,
that he knows
what's appropriate and what's
that he knows this.
inappropriate, because
not come here, bitch.
Yeah, I was like, what were they doing? And he was like, I don't know. It's like,
that's hilarious.
I had questions. I was curious.
I'm reading this first question, and you guys, I'm not showing you my dude on IG.
Let me get to it.
And second of all,
what is it? My man.
Thank you to my man.
Is that how it goes?
I don't know. Thank you to, why have I been saying that recently in my head? Not out loud, but it's in my... Thank you to my man.
Oh, someone definitely said, when is Shanan going to show us her dude on IG?
No, never.
Haven't we heard date in private, like all that privacy stuff?
Think one thing I would like to say, a lot of people were like surprised that I had a guy.
That she's talked about.
But I've talked to, I don't know if you guys, maybe we talk a lot on the podcast and it's a long whatever, but I have witnesses.
I have witnesses.
Kyle will back me up.
Yes, doll. She's been talking about this man.
This man. I for sure mentioned that Kyle has met this man.
I did meet the man. I did. And I've seen his children. Not in real life, but in pictures. And they are very cute. I just want to say.
Okay. So, yes. No, I'm not showing you my man on IG.
I just would like to say, yeah. While we're knocking this out, Shannon's already answered this, but Shanan, do you want any more children in the future?
I would love kids.
I know we're born. Someone asked, do these boy moms wish they were girl moms?
No.
Hell no.
We got Ryder.
Yo. Whoa.
I got Ryder. I will steal her when I want to.
No, I actually really enjoy being a boy mom, and I feel like I could be a boy mom for quite a while, but if God were to bless me with a girl, I would definitely be freaked out at first, but then I'd be like, oh my God.
I got a girl.
I
think I'm the same way. I am obsessed with being a boy mom. If my other kid was a boy, I would be so happy. I would love to be in Kyle's situation. As a boy mom, if I got a girl, I would be blessed.
Girls are different.
Girls are so different.
I went to I had to take Ryder, pick her up from dance or cheerleading the other day to go take her to a dance class. When I tell you it was an hour and a half dance class or cheerleading class, and it was just girls just like... and like doing back walkovers and cartwheels and like a lot of like
you and your
yeah, and I was like, no Jesus, no Lord. Jesus. God, give me boys.
I'll take the poop and
the fighting
and
yeah, my
kid, boy cuddles all day.
Man, because girls were like, can I put makeup on you for the 12th time today?
Yeah, I love my little boy cuddles. I love being a mom boy.
Me too. I'm like, let's go get dirty.
Yeah. Like, I love taking him to
hockey. You want to roll around outside?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I love doing honestly, I never knew how much I would love doing all little boy things and like dressing my boy. Like, I love how swaggy Parker has gotten and like him wanting waves and like.
It's hilarious.
I just love the whole thing. So I love being a boy mom.
I do too.
And I think being a boy mom makes you so fucking strong. And I can witness that for Kyle too. Like, Kyle is a strong, badass mom.
It's scary. And
I think being a single mother as well, like, I think I'm so empowered. And one of my friends today was mentioning a lot of like sports players and like these amazing men are are factors of a single mother that are strong and all that stuff. So I love being a boy mom.
I enjoy being boy mom. I don't like being a single parent.
That's
just for the birds. I will tell you now.
I don't like being a single parent, but
if you can do family planning, do it at all costs.
Yes,
at all costs.
This is why I am taking my time to have another kid, you guys, because I'm waiting for a healthy, amazing relationship, and I won't settle until I get it. Let's see.
Oh my goodness.
Favorite memory together. I don't know if Kyle's gonna remember this, but I was thinking about it while I read this.
Oh.
So back, I think it was a long time ago. I don't know where we were at, but we were at a party that we were not supposed to be at, far away, and we were with Terry.
Okay.
And I remember, I don't think we were supposed to be there and it was late. And your dad called and he like cussed us out and like told us to get home.
Yeah.
And I just remember getting back.
I remember this.
It was like it was so late. I don't know where we were, but we were just out.
We were just out.
And we got back to Kyle's house and like
I think you guys were supposed to spend the night, right?
Yes.
Is it that time?
Maybe. And we went out and we weren't supposed to be out and we got cussed out. I wasn't allowed to sleep over that night. I was supposed to go home and I was scared to go home because
I think we all had a cover, but the cover didn't come through. And then my dad was like, where are y'all little nigglets at? And then we were like, oh, we're still out. And then he was like, it's time to come home. We all went to the house. And I feel like he looked at you and Terry and said, no, y'all need to go to your house.
And me and Terry were so scared to go back home because we're like,
all of our parents were like kind of like
really strict.
I was terrified of Terry's mom growing up.
So, yeah.
Wait, back to my favorite memory.
Wait,
no, yeah. Second. I think you were definitely pregnant. I have pictures from
Was I Waldo?
Yes.
I was pregnant.
And I remember I didn't have a Halloween costume. I just put on a black dress and an orange wig.
Yes, you did. I remember that. That was a fun Halloween.
It was. It was very just like chill.
It was very chill.
There was this haunted house that used to get set up every year around the corner from my house. And like...
I remember that. And then, was it? Yeah.
This was so long ago.
It was very long ago.
Gosh.
Because neither you or Shy was...
I was still living in Altadena.
Yeah, you were living in Altadena.
Wow.
It was... Yeah. Wow. Your family still had the house.
Wow. That's one of my favorite memories. I miss that. Yeah. Because it was just so simple. And I have pictures from it. So it has its own little album, like, outside of my album. Those times
were very simple.
So simple.
Shampoo times.
Let's see. Kyle, do you ever feel like people compare you to your sister? People compare me to Cheyenne every day. And it's so funny because people will be like, oh my God, you must want Cheyenne's life. And I'm like, no, I don't. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but it's like,
you're your own person.
I am my own person. I am so chill. Like, I enjoy it. And we both have our own pressures, our own gifts, our own, like, journey. Like, Cheyenne and I come from the same household, but we've had such different experiences from day one to where it's like, if I had wanted to pursue things that would have put me in, like, a position of fame, that's something that I would have done a long time ago. Yeah. And these are things that were offered to me as a kid, and I did not want them. Like, I specifically rejected and rebelled against them. And it's funny because every now and then, like, some of my other friends will talk about it, and they laugh. They're like, oh, ha, 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 ha. Like, this could have, or this was supposed to be you. And not for, like, teen mom, but just, like, in that position almost. And I'm like, no, but I never wanted it. I never liked the attention. So in terms of that, like, we're so different. Our personalities are different. Like, I'm more outgoing in situations than Cheyenne. Like, but yeah, in terms of comparing us, y'all are wasting your time.
You're wasting your time.
Like, there's times when people compare and they'd, like, literally I will receive paragraphs like it's supposed to hurt my feelings, and I'm like,
I hate that.
Like,
what
is the point?
What do you get out of that? Like, are you trying to bring Kyle down? Do you want her to feel down?
That's the thing. I'm like, y'all have no idea what my 20s look like. I was livid. I was living. I was great. I was like, there's no. I'm at peace with where I am.
She's confident
who I am. Like, the last 5 years, I've had some hiccups in my situation, but other than that, like, I'm chilling.
I'm good.
I don't want all that stuff. But yeah, y'all are comparing and contrasting apples and oranges and expecting a reaction, and it's not happening. Okay, y'all had some, those were some of the Q&As. But Shanan, let's jump into it. Do you have a WTF or any words of advice this week?
Please keep putting my face. You guys, ooh. I think I'm Dr. Doolittle or something. All these freaking, I just live in Altadena, but all these fucking animals keep attacking me. I called Kyle the other day screaming because I accidentally, guys, don't call me animal killer, please. I accidentally killed a little lizard, came in my house, and I accidentally dropped the furniture. I was moving furniture, and it surprised me, and I dropped it on the poor lizard. I got
screenshots of the lizard.
I was so sad, you guys. And then I told Parker. He was so devastated and looked at me so sad.
Oh, really?
He just looked at me like, Mom. Aww. And then the other day, there was a huge, like, these spiders. They're, like, literally this big. Maybe I'm exaggerating. But they're huge that keep popping up, like, by my car. Mm-mm. And that's my WTF. I'm like, animals, I love you. What are you trying to tell me? Just that's what I want to know.
You live by the mountains and have lots of trees. We're in their home.
I literally, and I think especially since I just got my my house painted, that all these creatures are even more coming out.
Have you guys gotten the yard sprayed?
No.
Okay. Oh yeah, I saw that spider. We got to send that to Travis so he could share the spider.
That was my spider. Oh, my dad, it's live. Look at that thing.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So, that's my WTF. All these creatures are just creaturing.
Ooh. I'm trying to think. What do I have going on? It's been like it's been a roller coaster month. Gosh. Okay, some words of advice. Lately, I've just been, like, trying to balance this new schedule of mine, and I started a new project, which has taken up more time than I thought it was going to take up daily. So, I guess my advice is to myself in terms of, I don't have to get everything done in one day.
Amen.
I
like that advice.
I'm one of those, like, right now, I'm like, I write a lot of to-do lists, and they'll be like, I've got my kid to-do list. I have my self to-do list, which I changed the order. It went from kids and me, and now it's me, kids. It's like my entrepreneurship. So within that, I still have, like, my school stuff. I'm in the process right now of getting 3 more certifications. I just, I'm doing a new PWA and, like, app creating a new app. So I have like daily meetings for that, and I have to do daily work for that, which is like, I knew I was going to have to do stuff for it. I just didn't know like how much or how often, or just, I had no idea what that would look like. So now I have like a better idea of how that looks like. And it's taken time away from like my school stuff. And I've just been like,
I like what you said,
really hard on myself lately. And it's to the point where even my mom's like, girl, I see you. You're doing it. I need you to know that you're doing it. Yeah. Like, you know, it's okay. Important. Yeah. So lately, I guess myself has just been giving myself grace. One of my friends was like, you're okay. Like, you just got back in March. Like, and since then you've accomplished this and you've done that. You've made these steps forward. Like, she's like, there's concrete things where you can see like your progress and your growth and your journey. So she's like, just hold on to those things. So yeah, give yourself grace. If you've got like a full schedule, if you're trying to accomplish something, if you're like breaking through into a new area, give yourself grace. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to have a bad day. Like, I have bad work days sometimes. It's okay to not know everything. Like, I'm entering this tech world where it's like completely different lingo, and I'm like, you don't work on months and weeks. You work on, what did he call them? Switches? I'm like, I'm like, a switch is every 2 weeks or 15 day or 14. I'm like, okay, so you're bi-weekly. Yeah. He's like, yeah, but that's not the terminology. I'm like, okay. So it's just a learning curve. I've just been getting stressed out because I'm like, I want to really hurry up and move, but it's like, how do I fit that into my schedule? Yeah, so give myself grace. I popped off on Messier a few weeks ago because I was feeling frustrated, and it was just like, yeah, that man may not be doing what he should be doing in your brain, but like, that you shouldn't take your frustration out like on this person because of that lack of. So yeah, I just had to like step back and be like, you're okay. Keep going. I like that. Yeah, give yourself grace. But I like. Thank y'all for tuning in to this week's episode on the Think Loud crew. Cheyenne will be back next week. Will be back with us next week.
There you go.
Joining us, we've got some really cool guests coming up in October that we've got locked in. So I'm just really excited. And we're leaving the month of September. We're about to be, by the time this comes out,
it'll be October.
Happy October. We've moved over to Libra season.
Yes, we have.
Don't forget to listen to us on your favorite podcast platform, to go on to YouTube and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, review. We love seeing your comments.
Yes, we do.
And just, everybody stay Gucci, but don't forget to tell your crew
about our crew.
Peace out.